Hi, in this video I'm going to compare three completely different mouse from three different manufacturers. We've got the Anker vertical mouse, I have the Microsoft Sculpt Ergonomic mouse, and then I have the Logitech M325 wireless mouse. Now all of these are wireless, and the reason I'm comparing these is I have used the Anker for an extended period, over 2 years. I've recently purchased the Sculpt Ergonomic, and I have used most of the Logitech mouse. There are various M ranges, and I've just put this one here and just to give it almost like a baseline. Okay, starting with the Anker. The Anker mouse requires two AAA batteries. It has an on and off switch underneath. It has 4 pads, 1, 2, 3, 4, to allow it to move. In terms of buttons, you've got the left click, right click, row scroller, and the scroller does click but only in one direction, so it's down only. So you've got 1, 2, 3. Then on the top there's a button here, and there are 2 buttons here, so forward and back. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pressing opportunities on this mouse, and there is an LED lit there is an LED section here where you can see when the mouse is activated. Let's see if it comes on. There we go, there's the blue LED just telling you it's activated. Right, it comes with this wireless dongle. This wireless dongle can also be put at that place over there if you want to stow it away or you're traveling with it. The wireless dongle is of the small variety. If you had to compare it to the Microsoft one, you can see that the Microsoft one is quite big, just having a look at that. This is very important to me because if I travel with my mouse, I don't want to unplug the dongle all the time, so I just leave it in the laptop. But this unfortunately is too long and it will get caught on things because you literally got this like nipple like sticking out of a laptop, and if it gets bumped it can actually break the port. Now the Logitech, just having a look, is of the same size as the Anker, so this is a very good feature for those who are moving around with laptops and so on. The dongle is of a very small size. Okay, getting back to the Anker. The Anker is the most vertical of the three. Although I know the Logitech is not an ergonomically classified mouse, I'm just going to demonstrate. When you put your hand in its resting position, it tends to be vertical. This is actually an uncomfortable position. So what you'd want to do is actually have a mouse that you can just drop your hand onto. So the Anker does a very good job of being a vertical mouse. Right, I will compare the materials after the unboxings of these two mice. Looking at the Sculpt Ergonomic, very premium packaging, although I don't see the point of it because you are going to chuck it away straight after opening, but it is very premium. It does come with a little holder here. Okay, inside the packaging you've got the place where the mouse was, and there we go, and then obviously all the warranty and instructions and so forth. The mouse itself, right, the Microsoft mouse has the left and right click button, obviously, the scroller. The nice thing about this mouse is it has left and right and down. So you've got 3 positions here, which is very handy. So you've got 1 button, 2 button, 3 press, left, right. Then you've got a Windows button here, shortcut, and you've got a button on the inside here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looking at 7 opportunities there. The batteries are underneath this pad here that comes off, and it is magnetic, so it's actually quite nice because it just slots back on. Very nicely designed. 2 AA batteries. The dongle goes in this position over there, and also again magnetic. Very, very well finished mouse. The power button is there, and you switch it on and you switch it off over there. Okay, so let's put it just slips in. It's excellent. And then another nice feature of this mouse is, as I showed you on the Logitech, on the Anker, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 pads here, which gets dirty quite easily, whereas in the Microsoft one, you've got this whole area here. It's very smooth mouse, very smooth. Okay, now we move on to the Logitech M325. Just opening the blister pack. Right, obviously very cheap packaging, just a blister pack. It comes with this onesie or packaging, everything is inside, and there's the instructions and the warranty information. The mouse comes with its dongle, which I'm not sure if it can, yes, it can fit in there nicely. Obviously there's no magnet, it just it's got like a pressure to hold it in place. A little bit of resistance there. The on and off button is there. Got 4 pressure pads. The other 2 are on the battery cover. To activate the mouse when it's brand new, we just pull out this, the same as the Microsoft mouse. It's a single AA battery. Right, just closing that and turning that on. Usually we see that LED over there telling me that it's now on. In terms of button presses, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the roller can go to the left and to the right and down. Now let's compare these mouse in terms of all the finishes. The first thing is the roller, the scroller. The Logitech has the neatest scrolling. You see, when I'm scrolling, it allows it to continue to scroll. So it's got a low resistance, almost like a bearing type effect. The Microsoft is more resistive and almost like click, 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 click. Depends what you like. And then the Anker has got also similar to the Microsoft. They're actually literally the same. But in terms of the profile, the Anker scroller sticks out quite a lot. The Microsoft one is quite snug, doesn't stick out much, and then the Logitech is also quite snug. Okay, in terms of materials, the Anker is very plasticky. It's it's just made out of plastic. I mean, that's it. But it's got a little bit of a smooth. It's got a smooth, almost wet plastic finish. I would not consider this premium. It does the job. There's no unnecessary wear shown on the mouse. I have used this for over 2 years. So you're looking at a 2-year-old mouse, and underneath these pads are considerably used, but they are still okay. In terms of materials, I don't feel like I'm holding a premium device here. Okay, the Microsoft mouse does feel premium. It's got this gloss type plastic on here, and then a matte plastic here, and then a rubberized plastic here. So it's like almost like sticky. You don't have to hold it very tight. So it's a very good feature, because I just literally rest my hand here, and when I move, it's almost like stuck to my hand because of the rubberizing. It almost feels like a car tire here. Very smooth here, which is also very nice, because when you are scrolling, there's no resistance on the material here. Whereas if you look here, but then the Anker has a higher profile, but if my hand bumps onto the left and right buttons, this is a little bit more rough. Although I wouldn't consider it rough, it's just not like this totally baby's bum smooth. Alright, very premium materials. The pads here, also, I can't complain about that. Looking at the Logitech, also similar quality in terms of the padding and the underneath. The Logitech also has rubberizing here. So again, a very good feature, because you can see how it almost just comes with me without me having to actually grab it because of the rubberizing, and it has a recess here. It's a very comfortable mouse, the Logitech, except for it is tiny, as you can see. If you had to put these, just to give you an idea, and then let's just look at the footprint. Starting with the Anker, the longest point of it, you're looking at so that's 10, that's about 12 centimeters long. The Microsoft mouse, looking at about 10 centimeters, that front to back, and the Logitech we're looking at 9.5, which is actually quite strange because one would think, yeah, I mean, if you put these two together, we can see that they aren't that much different. But the reason is because the Microsoft one is making my hand rounded, it actually makes me fit the mouse better. Whereas the Logitech, because it's missing the height, my hand is more flat. Therefore, my hand is totally over this mouse, almost hiding it. I consider this a children's mouse, or someone with a very small hand. Just to give you an idea of my hand size, I've got large hands. When I buy gloves and so on, I buy large size. I wouldn't call it extra large, but my hand size looking at almost 19 centimeters. So if you've got a hand size like me, then you would be, and you want something ergo, you would want the largest mouse that can fit your whole hand. The Anker definitely for me is the winner here in terms of ergonomic. I've been using the Microsoft mouse for a few weeks now, and I still give it to the Anker. Again, I'm not that impressed with the materials and the feel and so on, but in terms of comfort, the Anker. In terms of moving and usability, it's definitely the Microsoft mouse. The Anker, you have to wake it up. If you've left your computer for an hour, you've got to click to wake it up. I don't really like that feature. The Microsoft one, as you move it, it's awake. The Microsoft one is a little bit heavier. I'll measure the weight right now. Looking at the weight, starting with the Anker, the weight is 111 grams with the battery in, obviously, and the Microsoft one is 156 grams. It's quite a bit heavier, and the Logitech is 86 grams. So you can see that the Logitech is much lighter than all the rest, and obviously it is smaller. Okay, in terms of moving the mouse around, the Anker is the loser here. It's got too much resistance. The Microsoft one is the winner. It's like silk, just moves. It is so smooth, and the Logitech is in between. Better than the Anker, but not as good as the Microsoft mouse. Okay, so my conclusion for this is, would I choose the Microsoft mouse over the Anker? And the answer is no, because it's still a little bit small for me. As you can see on the underview, I still have all this space here, and my hand feels like it wants to grab the mouse, put it further back in my hand. I feel like it should have actually been even a little bit bigger. But again, I have my hand is on the large side, so if you are someone with a medium-sized hand, this would probably be the best bet. The Anker can fit into my hand. I can actually grip it. If you're having a look at that, there's no gap here. My only problem is I would like it to have been a bit fatter. You see, it's a little bit narrow. So again, I know the ergonomic comfort zone is like that, but if I put this into the Anker, it's almost perfect. But I sometimes find myself having to squeeze the mouse because it's a bit too narrow. Literally 5 mils thicker, and this mouse would be the winner in ergonomic mouse. Alright, the Microsoft mouse, it's a very good contender for ergonomics, probably for a medium-sized hand. And the Logitech, well, this is a travel mouse. I definitely wouldn't recommend this in ergonomic. A very reliable mouse. One of my favorite things about the Logitech is the ability to unify the dongles. So if you've got a Logitech mouse and a keyboard, maybe you've got a Logitech keyboard, you only need the single dongle. Now that for me is a hands down win on the Logitech product range. Okay, so that brings me to my end of my review of these 3 mice. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video.